Today we're joined with Marsha and Sharif Eiley. Thank you for being here with us. One of the things that's been said about Marsha is that she's a dedicated parent, committed volunteer, and a leader of the foundation board. All that true?
Most definitely, and then some.
I recently learned that she also runs the spirit shop.
That's right. You can buy these hats. Go see Marsha.
Let's start with some introductions. Marsha, tell us a little bit about yourself and your family.
Okay. Well, I do run the spirit shop at Westlake. I'm involved in HOC and the foundation. Our family, we have 2 6th graders at Westlake. We also have an 8th grader at another school. We live in Westlake, and we actually moved here. We moved here from Tokyo. We had been in Texas before that. And whenever we came to Westlake, we came here because after living in Japan, we really loved the international aspect of the school. And we wanted to have that diverse international community that we had. And Westlake was just a really nice fit.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Sharif, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I was the reason we moved to Japan. I've worked in telecom and technology for a number of years and spent about 10 years at Amazon. And my last leg was leading marketing and across Asia Pacific for all the various Amazon products like Echo and Kindle and Fire TV. But while we were there, we went to a fantastic international school. And like Marsha made mention, it was really the reason and why we're seeking out something very similar here. We went to school with kids from all sorts of backgrounds that spoke 5 or 6 different languages. And it was just a really fantastic, eye-opening experience for us. And then we came back here and we did it right in 2020.
Okay.
So you can imagine it was a tough time and it was weird to reintegrate into different groups. And Westlake made it really low friction for us. Our kids went back to school in person and really had a fantastic first grade year at Westlake Academy. So I know I deviated from the question itself, went back to Westlake on that.
Talk a little bit about that when in 2020, when you're approaching this decision, you got to come back. You're choosing to come back, however it plays out. What was the key decision point to choose Westlake Academy? Tell me a little bit about the other schools you might have interviewed or what settled you here.
Well, we actually came back and went to a private school when we first arrived here. Went to EA Young Academy, which we had previous experience with our oldest at. And so it was just easy to get back in from a sense of familiarity, but it really wasn't the right fit for all 3 children. And so that's when we did a bit of experimentation, a bit of discovery, and we really found what Westlake stood for. And that's when we were proud to join the academy.
Yes.
Marsha, talk a little bit about coming to Westlake Academy. Did you choose the school or did you choose the community?
Well, they were really one and the same. We wanted to be a part of the community, and we knew that we might eventually come to the school. We knew we'd had friends that had been there, and we knew that it was a great international school, and we knew that if we ever needed the school, it was there. And so we moved to Westlake specifically thinking that it could be an option for our students, for our children. And it really did work out beautifully. We whenever we made the switch, and for Ella and Edison, it has been a great community, and we've been able to get involved, and it has worked out really well. And it was part of the reason for deciding to move to Westlake.
Got it. So being in Tokyo, the international flair, the decision to come to Texas, you transitioned back to Texas, and then you settle here in Westlake, and then the international baccalaureate curriculum was one of the reasons why you gave Westlake Academy a shot, or was it more the testimonies from the other people you knew?
It was the international baccalaureate and the community here. So we really liked the international baccalaureate, and then also the style of teaching, the curiosity driven, the project driven, and just it's different than the schools around. So it's more learner driven, and that which I think comes from the style of the IB, and it's not just maybe the way that I was taught growing up, where you just are given something and you memorize it. It's more of that, learning through curiosity.
Are you guys in agreement with the choice? The school's been what you had expected?
It's been a fantastic experience for us. Mm-hmm. So Marsha made mention our kids started, our twins started their education experience in kindergarten in Tokyo. And you can imagine how different that might be. And they transitioned to Westlake in first grade. And so now they're sixth graders or incoming sixth graders. And we've been extremely pleased with the experience that we've had thus far. And it's one, that's a sense of community, but two, it's seeing our kids blossom, right? So that curiosity element reigns through, and we've really seen them explore and do really fun, innovative things. Their fifth grade exhibition project was a real fun one. Our daughter, Ella, loves fashion. She takes a lot of that from Marsha, but she was able to explore fashion cycles through history and looked at upcycling and recycling as a problem statement, because there's all this fast fashion, it's going into dumps, and what do you do with it? And then our son, Edison, loves ancient history and ancient societies and was able to get into a group where he was studying ancient Greek civilization. And that Thanksgiving, we took the entire family to Greece. We went to the Peloponnese, where he was learning about the Peloponnesian War and the Olympics and all those things, and turning them into real life practical experiences for his project, right? So those type of things don't necessarily always coexist, where you can make things hands-on, experiential, and relevant to you. And it was really like a shining moment for us in like, why is Westlake different? And it's in seeing your kids embrace those things that are really interesting, and then have that passion and being able to ignite that fire within them. So
that's amazing. Did you make them run a marathon?
I'll tell a story a different time over cocktails about our experience at the Olympic facilities to save Marsha some face.
Understood. Now, I'm going to transition to our donating to Westlake. You've already acknowledged that Marsha has given a tremendous amount of time, but that doesn't stop there. You also give a lot of your monetary resources. So when you look at the impact of those donations, where do you see it most clearly at Westlake Academy, whether it's the classroom or the programs, or the broader student experience? And looking ahead, what do you hope your family's giving will achieve for Westlake Academy's future?
Marsha and I spoke about this earlier, because we were just having a discussion of like, where does the impact live? And the reality is, everybody has to look at our school and understand that it's a charter school. So we're underfunded. We don't get the same amount of dollars per student as an ISD. But when you show up and you have your kids show up every single day, there are not sacrifices that we have to make because we're able to bridge that gap through giving. So for me, that's what really shows up on a day in and day out basis, is the fact that we can all go to school and have this wonderful experience for our kids without sacrifice. And it's because we can come together as a community and bridge that gap.
Marsha, what do you think? Where does it show up in?
I think that is very well stated. We are a very small school, K through 12. Sure. And the fact that being a charter school, that we can still offer, so many programs to our kids. And, like our son is a sixth grader. He's playing football for the first time. That wouldn't happen at Southlake or anything else, because you would have to have been playing for so long. Kids here can play multiple things. They can just choose to do things. And it teaches kids that you can try new things. You don't have to be the best at something to try it and to do things. And I think that's the great thing about giving, is that we are able to allow the school to have these programs so that kids can try and nothing gets cut. And we see that these programs are all there for our kids and everyone can try things. And you don't have to be the best of the best. You can try multiple things and every kid can be there and all these programs are there for them.
It translates to more opportunities for your
more
students.
opportunities. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not just opportunities. It's that whole fostering a mindset of curiosity and experimentation,
Okay.
which I think will bode well for them long-term in life, right? They don't have to walk out feeling like they're going to be number one at anything. They can always try something new, see how it goes, learn from it, level themselves up. And when you go to these larger schools, you're a number, you're 1 out of 1,000. So it's highly competitive. We're able to foster that like bravery to try something new without feeling like, hey, I'm number one or I'm that top 1%.
Just thinking through that, it's more than just the opportunity. It's the ability to sample and learn whether you like it or you don't, which saves time over a lifetime or maybe breed passion over a lifetime if you truly are able to find that exact fit for your student. Is that what you mean?
Most definitely. I think we all can look back at ourselves and think about 1 or 2 things that we really wish we had done, but didn't because there was a limited resource or we didn't feel like we were the best or the opportunity existed. And so I think making sure that our kids don't have to feel that regret or reservation is part of our mission as parents.
Also, often think about that as in a negative context, a freedom to fail, but you're speaking of it at it in a much more positive way. I don't know how to phrase that.
Well, freedom to fail is pretty freeing, right? Like if you can go out there and try something new without that reservation, it's extremely positive.
It is.
If you look across all these top companies, they embrace that mindset and take chances, and you see the fruits of that, right?
Yeah. That's powerful. Now, Blacksmith Giving Day is coming up. Have you heard of it?
We're familiar.
Okay, familiar. Yeah. September 18th is our date, and families across Westlake Academy are deciding how much to give, if they should give. Now, as an experienced givers of our Blacksmith campaign, what would you say to the parents who are weighing their options, who might wonder if their gift will make a difference? Why does it matter that we all step in with our very best gift?
Any amount that you can give, it truly matters, because just being invested in the school and the students, we all have a part in this. We all share in this, and we're all in this together. So I think we're all committed to the future of the school. We're all committed to our students. And so just giving what we can give, it all helps our community and it all helps our students. So I think it's just all of us giving what we can give. It all helps our students.
Well, not everybody can give the same amount, and that's understandable. I think we should all just challenge ourselves to say, okay, well, how much can I give? What is equitable? And what other opportunities do I have? Do I have employer matching? Are there other opportunities? Maybe my employer might be willing to sponsor the academy or do something different here. We're all talking about the future of our children and their education and their personal growth. That, to me, those dollars pay off in dividends. So how else are you going to spend your time, money, and effort than in fostering and enriching the future of our children, right? So to me, if I'm spending $1 on their education, spending $1 on their future, it's $1 well spent. We all should have that mindset.
Well, you've had experience of the last 5 years of seeing the results of the gifts being spent and the product that your children have become. Talk to me like I'm a brand new parent. Like, this is my first time. I'm coming into September 18th. First time. What would you tell me?
I think giving should be comfortable. Understand what you're comfortable with, and understand that you are sending your students to Westlake Academy for a reason. And just do a little bit of a check and say, hey, how can I help? How can I take this to the next level?
What if I told you that we have a gap? Would the facts help in that process? If I said that, generally speaking, $3,700 is the difference between what it takes to have a charter school versus a public school experience with a Westlake flair.
Well, and I think it's critical to understand that. And it's critical to also understand that we are a community and not everyone has the ability to give that full amount. So if you have the ability to give more, you should always challenge yourself to do so. That $3,700 is a fantastic number to outline the actual gap that exists. But then think about, what are you comfortable with? Can you give, is it 500 or is it 50,000? Where is that number? And then challenge yourself to figure out a way to get there.
Okay. Anything you would want to tell me as a first time giver, Marsha?
I would just say that anything you give to the foundation and to the school, it's all, this is all coming from the school, and anything you give is going to be used for the school and for the students. And this is all and used responsibly. And, it's all going to be coming back to the community and to the students. So we've given to the foundation. We've also just throughout the year, if like there's some need, we've always, worked with the foundation, and that's been a great way to give throughout the year. Like, if there's something for a sports team or something for one of the student groups, it's just great to see the students thrive, to see DECA be able to go to their state championship, to be able to see a sports team that needs something, get something. It really does help our students thrive anytime that we give.
I've been talking to a couple of families that have new students that joined in the last couple of years. And it's interesting to hear there's folks that have been on the waiting list for 9 years, and they're getting their students in the MYP program or the upper school. And, I ask them, so why that 9 years is a long time to wait. So why did your spouse, or why did you, go in and apply and do all those things? And a lot of it is that the community, the idea of having a K through 12 school where the kindergartners are interacting with the seniors, and there's leadership, and there's this virtuous cycle where those kindergartners eventually become the seniors, and then they're doing outreach and mentorship, which is extremely unique that you can't get in any of these other ISDs. There's also the fact that it's a very intimate school in the sense that you do have the smaller class sizes, you do have these groups, and it's all because we can afford it through giving, right? The other side of it is that, again, it's no compromise. We still foster that environment of exploration and curiosity. You don't have to say, well, sorry, I can't go to Westlake Academy because they don't have a DECA program, and I really want to go and compete in DECA in high school. That's something that we have and we can offer. Again, all those things come together. So as a new parent coming to the school, I'd implore you to look at all of those wonderful programs that we have and really challenge yourself to see, how can I also be part of this wonderful virtuous cycle at Westlake Academy?
That's good. Thank you. You talk about the students, and one of the questions that I really like is the student superpower. What's one skill or trait you think Westlake students develop that make them stand out?
Sure. I mean, I've said it multiple times here, but it is curiosity. Curiosity comes with a few areas. It's that mindfulness. It's that growth mindset, but it's also grit, right? So being able to stumble a little bit and say, you know what, I really am keen to learn about this or explore this further or level up my ability, and I'm going to go continue to challenge myself. So I think it really is that curiosity that's going to bode well for them in life, and really question why things are the way they are, and is that the right way they should be?
Do you see a difference between your twins? in regard to those three things you mentioned?
I think they both have those foundations, but they're fundamentally different children, right? So we have a boy, girl, twin. So it's a fundamental, like, fantastic experiment, if you will. When I look at Ella, she is really well put together. She knows what she wants to do. You can ask her, where do you want to go to school? And she says, oh, I want to go to Parsons like mom. I want to go into design and I want to go into fashion. She challenges herself to level herself up in terms of things that she's passionate about, like drawing. I saw her do a drawing of an eye over and over and over again to study and perfect and get that mastery. And then we have Edison, who is an uncanny, funny kid, very brave, knows right from wrong, will stand up for what's right. And he does have a path and a lot of curiosity. For example, he's currently developing a board game with his brother that he's looking to monetize at 10. It's a great experiment because they want to kill each other 50% of the time. And the other half of the time, they want to help each other, right? So they're creating this really fantastic board game called Chess and Chance, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
And then Ella will do all the design work for it.
I love it. Wow. Keeping in that same theme, biggest surprise. What's something that surprised you about being a part of the Westlake Academy community?
I think just what a tight-knit community it is, and also how all the students really do come together. It is so nice that having the K through 12 school, our daughter, from the time she was in PYP, would, see the older students, and the older students really would mentor the younger students. And now that she's in MYP, she still reaches out and sees the younger students, but then she also sees the high school students, and just that sense of community. And then we also know parents with kids of all different ages, and just that sense of community throughout the whole school. It is nice to have that tight knit community where everybody is coming together for one purpose, and you do get to know everybody. And even when we have new families, we can, okay, you're new. Let us come in. Let us get you, let us introduce you to these people. We'll get you roped in here. We'll tell you about the uniforms. We'll tell you about this. We'll introduce you to these people, and let's bring you in. And everybody's trying to help everyone else. And it is that nice sense of, community. It's very familial. We really do try to help everyone out and, get everyone to help find their place, because, it is about community and service and working for the greater good.
Yeah.
I think Marsha said it very well. For me, it was also the community. My personal experience, my graduating class was about the size of the entire student population at Westlake Academy. So you can imagine, being a number, being in the system, there wasn't really that sense of community. You might have had 20 friends that you have in a collective, but it was really surprising that all the way from K through 12, all the families come together and everybody knows each other. And it is definitely that tight knit sense of, pseudo family where everyone comes together and lifts each other up.
Think about when you guys first engaged with that community. What's the first memory? What's the first real memorable moment for you?
We came in during COVID, so things were a little bit, but I think that next year when things really opened up, that's when it really became that's when I really remember things, because we were back and, kind of really on campus and meeting all the families and, joining HOC. And then that next year, everything was back. And so that was when I really got involved. And
what motivated you to do that?
I've always been a person who volunteers and gets involved in things. So I just knew that if my kids were going to go to school here, that I wanted to volunteer and give something back to the school.
Sure.
So, and that was really what helped us to get involved and help us to, it really helped us to know the school. And that's how we also kind of fell in love with the school, was once we got to really know the people and meet everyone and see, we got a really good look at the school.
Okay.
I think the other thing to add is there's not a specific moment, but a lot of individual moments that add up, and there's constant reminders. Marsha and I were talking about this morning, but our daughter, Ella, had a bit of a struggle last year with science. And while Izzy Sunday was her main teacher, she wasn't her science teacher, but recognized that Ella was having a little bit of a misstep, as well as a couple of her peers. And Izzy took the time to pull Ella and a few of her classmates in a free period aside and say, okay, well, how can we kind of approach this from a different angle and help you really learn and understand the concepts at hand? And it made me think, okay, well, that's one, it wasn't Izzy telling us about it. It was Ella coming home so excited because she was struggling with something and then totally got it. And that moment as a learner went from frustration and failure to success. Those are the type of moments that you really latch on to and gravitate towards. And it shows you those ignition points, right? We had a misstep and that could go completely sideways. And Ella could walk out and say, I hate science, and throw her book down. Izzy turned it around. And it's those type of moments that the Westlake Academy community have amongst the teachers. And, I'm struck for words when those type of things happen.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Especially when it happens to your kid.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we hear stories like that, but it's somebody else's. But my hope is that that's a moment that all parents feel at our school.
Yeah.
Think about, last question. You got a magic wand. Anything you want, you can make happen. And if you could wave a magic wand and add one thing to Westlake Academy tomorrow, what would it be?
A $50 million endowment for the school that would set it up long term and cover the gap, I think would be a fantastic thing. If we're going to shoot for the stars, right? Magic wand, let's not be unreasonable, but I just want this school to have perpetuity, success, and never have to sacrifice for the next 100+ years, right? So we can really ignite a fire in all these learners and see them grow. So money seems like the petty answer here. I'm sure Marsha has a much better answer than mine.
No, I think, I think that's a good answer. I think obviously money to be able to fund all of the things that, obviously we have been able to have everything that we have now, but it would be great if we could have even more. We want to keep adding. I know we're expanding the arts and sciences building. It would be great if we could continue with that. And it would be great if we could continue to do that. So
yeah, Sharif's got a good.
I know the $50 million. That endowment. That's a big endowment.
I suspect that we can do that.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Before we let you go, I'm gonna make sure we didn't miss anything, and more importantly, if there's anything that you would like to say, or something I forgot to ask you, something that comes to mind, experience, or.
Well, one, hit the spirit shop. Check out all the awesome gear that's there. That money goes into HOC and it does wonderful things for the school, like the sunshade over the playground so our kids don't get absolutely burned.
Yeah.
That was thanks to the dollars that came from HOC, and that was dollars that were raised by that spirit shop. So again, it's a wonderful thing. It's that virtuous cycle. You're getting awesome gear, you're supporting the academy and giving back to the school at the same time. So plug one.
Wow, that's a really good plug for the spirit.
Awesome hats. Plug two, I think September 18th, we all know what we have to do here is reach down deep, do what you can. Our personal narrative is there's a couple things that we spend a lot of money on. One is our kids' future and education, and the other is international travel. So, that's where we dig down deep and we carve out. Do what you're comfortable with and what you really believe in, and you'll be extremely happy with what you've chosen.
Thanks for sharing that, Sharif. That's good.
He's the marketing guy, and I design the clothes behind the scenes at the Grammys.
His arms say.
Well, he has two. He has one that's Arabic and one that's Japanese. So the Japanese is fall down 7, stand up 8.
Oh, wow.
So growth mindset. Again, don't be afraid to fail.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And the other one is Maktub. It is written.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's destined. It's written to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
cool.
So
That's a wrap.
that's a wrap.
Lovely.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your time.
Thank you for
Thank
doing
you.
this.